All right, welcome to the Funhouse. We're going to see acdc tonight. This is the 2025 Power Up Tour. Tonight's their stop in Chicago at Soldiers Field. I got to take the little choo-choo train into the city, grab a burrito, then walk about a half hour from Union Station in Chicago to Soldier Field there, where the Chicago Bears usually lose. Yeah, tonight's acdc. I've only seen him one other time. That was one of the last Brian Johnson shows before Axl Rose took over for a little bit. Yeah, people are saying it's good. I have a friend that went to see them in Pittsburgh. He said it's a fun, 2-hour event. They're doing 21 songs. Seems like the set list is not changing. It's a specific show that they're playing. Angus is 70, Brian Johnson's is 77. I would imagine with those ages, this is the final tour. Who knows? But yeah, those are the only two guys from lineup that you would know. So yeah, we're gonna go watch the show. I'll show you some highlights of the show, and then we'll go back to the Funhouse and talk about acdc in the concert, and I'll tell you if it's worth it or not. All right, let's go. So there's some Latina festival over there, Latina, and then all along the hotels there's a bunch of dudes in bondage. So some kind of bondage festival. We are finally near the Field Museum, which is right in front of Soldier Field, which is where acdc will be in just a few hours. A lot of dudes selling bootleg t-shirts. I don't need a real t-shirt. I don't need a bootleg t-shirt. But back in the day, I used to buy the bootleg t-shirts all the time. All right, we're almost there.
This is good news. Salvation is of the Lord. You're a sinner on your way to hell. You have not salvation. Now is the day of salvation. Now is the day of salvation.
We have our overpriced t-shirts, $50, $50, $50. No thanks for that. Too much money. All right, welcome back to the Funhouse. That was a fun concert, wasn't it? I'm working on about 3.5 hours of sleep, so bear with me if this video is a little choppy. But acdc, we're going to review the concert. After the review of the concert, we're going to go through my vinyl collection of acdc. Got some real cool stuff you might want to check out. So yeah, I went to the city, like I said, via the train. Food at Soldier Field or any event, food is going to be outrageous. So I'm at a point right now where I want to save a few bucks here and there. I've been spending way too much, so I grabbed a burrito at Chipotle. My wife was actually coming home from work in the city, and I was going into the city to play. So it was nice to see the Putin there for a minute or two. Yeah, so went to the stadium, found my seat. I'll show you the view here from my seat. 219, row 2. Couldn't be happier. I mean, it's far away, sure, but you get a good overview of the stage. Not that the guys are running around besides really Angus and Brian, but it's still kind of neat to see the two screens and have that perspective. So I was happy with the seats. Seats cost me $100. Of course, Ticketmaster, you suck, and you add in all the fees as you see here, and it's $100, $150 at the end of the day when you're paying all that. Resale, those tickets, some are going. I saw some for about $300 to $400 at the peak. But right before, hours before the concert, usually when tickets start dropping, some are selling for like $180, so a little more than original cost. So I was happy to have purchased them way before the concert for the original cost. All right, so we opening band was Pretty Reckless. Always heard of them. Never really sought any of their stuff out. They have 4 studio albums. They were formed in 2009. Taylor Momsen, an actress, a model, one hell of a singer, great singer. Yeah, great. But to me, it just there's not a lot of hooks in that music. I think they played for like 50 minutes, and out of that 50 minutes, I think 2 songs I really liked. All the other songs are just probably a band that's more suited for a smelly, sweaty little rock club than a big stadium. They're bluesy rock, sleazy kind of rock, heavy metal, good stuff. And Taylor, she puts on a hell of a singer, and she's out there working it. The other people in the band just kind of wearing all black, just playing along. They kind of look like average rocker guy. There's nothing too much to that show besides her prancing around and stuff and flipping her blonde hair everywhere. It's good, but I could have probably preferred a lot of other bands to see open for AC/DC than Pretty Reckless. But now I can say I saw them. Would I see them again? I don't know. If they were on a good bill, like I said, at a smaller club, that, you know, that mid-tempo, sleazy, bluesy rock, it'd be fun. I mean, she's a good singer. Anyway, so there's a little bit of a wait, maybe 10 minutes. And I should mention this Power Up tour started in 2024, went through Europe and places, and then came to America, and Chicago was the second to last show here in America. So it's going to wrap up the American side of it and then go back to Europe for a little bit. Brian and Angus are the only two familiar faces. We no longer have Malcolm Young, sadly. Phil Rudd, I don't know what the legal reasons or why he didn't join this tour. Really love Phil Rudd's drumming. And then Cliff Williams, of course, said, you know, no more to this touring and all that stuff. So they have, filling in for Cliff Williams, they have Chris Chaney. He's pretty much studio musicians, played with everyone from Avril Lavigne to Jane's Addiction. You know, I think he shared a common Alanis Morissette relation with the drummer, Matt Log. He played on Jagged Little Pill, which is the big hit record from Alanis Morissette. He's also played with like Alice Cooper and Slash. And then Stevie Young, who's Uncle Angus, we all know. The nephew of Malcolm and Angus, he's playing bass. And he's filled in for Malcolm Young way in the past, and then, of course, recently, of course, because he's passed away. Sad to lose Malcolm. I think he brought a lot of a good edge to the songwriting and stuff. But anyway, so you got Brian Johnson out there at 77. You got Angus at 70. Hello, 70. I'm 54 and I can barely move sometimes my shoulder, my ankles. I don't know if I can go. This is a 2-hour show. And they're moving around. Angus is moving around a lot doing the old Chuck Berry thing. But is it worth it? You know, you just got Brian and Angus, and a lot of the songs are same from the other set list. You know, and that's why you're coming to watch this video. Hopefully, if you're going to go see them in the future or whatever, you want to know, is it worth it? And my answer is from that first note of If You Want Blood, because I've never seen them before. I've only seen AC/DC once before, and it was in February 2016, one of the last shows before Brian Johnson had to stop for a while and Axl Rose took over. And I never saw them play If You Want Blood. So from that note on, they just came out. I was like, okay, this is good. This is AC/DC. I moved my head, sore neck a little bit, but I moved my head. I mean, this is what I want. You know, I paid $100. Thanks, Ticketmaster. I had to pay $150. You know, got there plenty of time. Had a good view. So yeah, I was rocking out. Had cool people next to me. I didn't have people that were intruding on my space. Which, if you watch my Iron Maiden video recently, you know that could ruin a concert experience. But yeah, so the 3 songs. Hey, let's go over the set list really quick, and I'll show you the stats here. They're really, it's hard when you're AC/DC. You know, you gotta represent all the eras, and you know people really like the early stuff, and they, of course, like, you know, He Shook Me All Night Long and stuff like that. But you got to do the service of trying to go through your whole career. And oddly enough, they only played 2 songs from the new album, and I really thought they were gonna play a little more. But anyway, let's go through the set list really quick. I'll give you my opinion on it. If You Want Blood, like I said, didn't hear them play that song before. Love that song. Well, it's one of my favorites from them. Song number 2, Back in Black. Of course they're going to play that. Brian Johnson. Still, you know, his singing style, he's always had that scratchy voice. He knows how to cut the words short. He knows how to kick back a little bit so he's not blowing himself out. Like I said, he's 77 years old. He's not as schmaltzy as like Van Halen, like Roth, you know, where he's just kind of speaking the words, you know, and being all, hey, I'm David Lee Roth. You know, he's Brian Johnson really seems like one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. Never had a chance to meet him, but man, he just seems like one of the coolest, like dude next door rock singer types that just, hey, have a beer with me, let's talk. You know, doesn't have any kind of like the jerkish rock star persona at all attached to him. Just seems like one hell of a guy. Anyway, track 3 was Demon Fire, one of the new ones off the Power Up album. I do have a review on his channel of the Power Up album, and I think Demon Fire was my second and third favorite song on that album, so I was happy to hear that one. Shot Down in Flames, love that song from Highway to Hell. Thunderstruck, you know they're gonna do it. Is it my favorite AC/DC song? It's growing on me. It's kind of cheesy, but yeah, it's growing on me. Have a Drink on Me, awesome. Hell's Bells, of course, awesome. Shot in the Dark, another new one from the new album. In this set list, gone are the days where groups are kind of switching it up. You know, you may throw out a song here or there from a set, but pretty much now, because the way that you got to get the lighting production and the sound, everything is so like stringent. 3 hours of sleep. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but everything is so set that it's very rare on a big scale like this, you know, playing football stadiums like that, you're going to get bands switching things up because everything is in tune exactly has to happen in this, the lighting and then the video behind bands. So the set list is pretty much the set list they've had for this tour, and it's probably going to be the set list that they stick for the tour is what I'm trying to say. Stiff Upper Lip from the album Stiff Upper Lip. That's an AC/DC album I don't really like. Like I said, I was pretty much a hardcore AC/DC fan up till Fly on the Wall. After Fly on the Wall, it's been hit or miss. A few songs here I love, a lot of generic stuff I kind of don't love. And yeah. Stiff Upper Lip, I could have really thrown that one away and heard another track off the new album. I would have been happy with that, but I get it. They're trying to show you their whole career. Highway to Hell, of course you want to hear that one. Shoot the Thrill, they seem to do that live a lot. Sin City, of course. Rock and Roll Train, it's another one of the newer type AC/DC songs. It's alright. Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, awesome. High Voltage, yep. And I knew what was happening after High Voltage. That's why I cracked out the old video camera here. Riff Raff. Man, I was happy to hear that. I did not hear that last time they came through in 2016. One of my favorite songs, like I said, off my favorite album, Powerage. Riff Raff. Holy moly. And then You Shook Me All Night Long. You know, you have to do that one. A Whole Lot of Rosies. Fun. I love Let There Be Rock. That's just a great album. The song Let There Be Rock. I've been a big AC/DC fan since I was a kid. And was purchasing High Voltage and all that, and I went to see the movie Let There Be Rock, and I was blown away because they actually brought in additional speakers to like blow you away when you went to see that movie. Such a great movie, Let There Be Rock. One of my favorite kind of rock concert films of all time. And then the encore, they come back out with TNT, and then For Those That Bought the Rock, we salute ya. What a great way to end a night. And fireworks and stuff like that.
Chicago, we salute and we love you. Good night.
Free fireworks show included with the ticket price of the concert there. But yeah, good stuff. I mean, like I said, is it worth it? Is it? It seems like a lot of parents are bringing their kids, or even like grandparents are bringing their parents, or bringing their kids, or bringing their grandkids. You know, everyone wants to see this legendary band AC/DC. It was so weird. Like growing up, early AC/DC was kind of like a little evil and like raunchy kind of stuff. I never thought that they would become kind of the pop phenom, even when You Shook Me All Night Long and all that broke the group, so to speak, to more of a pop audience. I didn't think they would maintain that. Like, you know, they're kind of like the Rolling Stones, for crying out loud. Which brings up a good point. Like, Brian Johnson is 77. There's not a lot of rockers out there that are older than him that are still, like, hitting the road. Besides Mick Jagger, I think he's, like, 81. Paul McCartney's up there, too. So there's not a lot of that age, so I would think this is the last tour and this is it for them. Never know. I don't know. So yeah, was it like, oh man, this is amazing? Nah, I think that ship has sailed where you're just not going to get like the craziness. But as good as you can be crazy for a 7-year-old Angus Young, he's putting an A+ effort. Guitar solos, I'm not big into guitar solos, but it was kind of fun, you know, and he gets down on the ground, and yeah, for sure. I would say if you're an AC/DC fan, longtime fan, of course, you're probably going to see them on every tour. If you haven't seen them ever, I'd go check out this tour. Like I said, it could be their last tour. Sounds really good. It's really loud. I mean, for a football stadium, they really crank it, and it's really, really loud. So it's good stuff. Yeah, it's a fun time. Check it out. If you can get a ticket that's not crazy, you know, those flippers, we hate them all. All right, well, let's check out some of my AC/DC stuff. Let's start off with cassettes. I don't really have a lot of cassettes anymore, but I was at an estate sale years ago, probably about 8-9 years ago, and in this junk drawer, there was no like other music around, you know, screwdrivers and stuff in this junk drawer. I pull it out, and a sealed cassette of AC/DC Back in Black. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So like, I didn't know there was a price. I brought up the person. She's like, just give me $1. I gave her $1. I have no idea what it's worth because it's sealed or not, but I'm not going to sell it. It's just kind of neat. I just kind of have it sitting up there as a display piece. 45s. I got Jailbreak with Show Business. That's pretty cool, huh? Of course, She Shook Me All Night Long. Classic Brian Johnson. Take a little bath in there. Let's Get It Up. That'd have been cool to hear that one. Snowballed, of course, off of Let There Be Rock, which is kind of one of the cooler, kind of just, I have something in there I kind of want to see. This cooler kind of, oh, it's just the other side of it. Cooler kind of like imagery that's so simple. You can see I have a Let There Be Rock ad above my right hand there, over there. And yeah, it's just cool. I remember when the album came out, I would put it on my turntable, the artwork, and just like, look how badass I am. That's a Canon. Of course, Brian Johnson before AC/DC. I'm going to do a video of a lot of singers, what they did before they joined the big band that we all know them from. Brian Johnson was in Gordy. I think I picked these up when I was in Berlin like 10 years ago. Gordy there, single there from them, and another single. There's Brian up on top right there. If you haven't ever heard this, it's his voice, but a little cleaner. He wasn't as scratchy when he was playing with them. But yeah, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be is a tribute to AC/DC. This is an amazing comp. Hope I don't get in trouble for cartoon movies. But you have some amazing, came out in '99. Just bands. A lot of them, REO Speed Dealer, Electric Frankenstein, Chapstick, Lollipop, a lot of the Dwarfs, a lot of bands you may not heard of, but they're just doing great versions of these songs. Great stuff. This came out Record Store Day a while ago, so Fraternity, featuring Bon Scott, who would then go on to be AC/DC. And another prior to AC/DC venture with Mr. Bon Scott, Valentine's. This is from, what's it, 67 to 70. Got that. That's another thing from Record Store Day. This is Power Up, Through the Mist of Time. This is my favorite song off of Power Up. Man, oh man. Like I said, they could have thrown out Stiff Upper Lip and put in this one, Through the Mist of Time. I don't know if it's harder on Brian Johnson's voice to sing this one or what, but man, this is my favorite song from this. Is a picture disc of that single. Of course, newest album, Power Up. I think it's 5 years old now, but it's a good album. If this is how they go out, I wouldn't be ashamed at all, AC/DC. I mean, you for sure didn't want to go out on like a rocker bust, Stiff Upper Lip, stuff like that. It's kind of like, Power Up is really good. Really good record for them. Yeah, sorry. It doesn't, I got it, but I mean, am I ever going to pull this out and really play it? I opened it, played it maybe twice, and just, I don't know. Rock or bust. It's does anyone out there really love this album? I mean, am I being too hard on them? I don't know. It just doesn't seem that great. Razor's Edge. I could have also heard Who Made Who. That would have been great instead of Stiff Upper Lip. Who Made Who would have been great. Speaking about that, blow up a video. Heat Seeker would have been nice too. But here we go. Who Made Who. kind of the soundtrack stuff. But yeah, it's good stuff. This is a 12-inch single for Danger and just Danger. Two Sides of Danger from Fly on the Wall. 12-inch single of that. Fly on the Wall. It took me a while. I think the videos really helped me get into this one. This was what, 85, I think. But yeah, all the short videos that had the music videos really helped me get into. Mr. Simon Wright on drums on this one. I forgot about that. Simon Wright. Flick a switch. Yeah, this one also kind of fly on the wall. It wasn't like an instant. Yeah, it took me a little while. Flick the switch. I need to spin this because there's a lot of these songs that draw on blanks for me. But yeah, 83 on this one. And like I said, from this point on, love them, love them. For those about to rock, I used to open this up and put it on my turntable as a display piece. There's only a few of them throughout time that I've kind of opened up and used as display piece. Shout at the Devil was one. 2112 was one. Ugh, tight sleeve. But yeah, as a kid, I used to put this on my turntable. And kids came over. They knew I wasn't just a wuss. I was into hard rock, man. I'll put that in later. Back in Black, of course, you lose your singer. And a lot of bands, that's it, man. You're not coming. And these guys got Brian Johnson, and put out a lot of people viewing this would say this is my favorite AC/DC album. Yeah, it's in top 5 for me for sure from them. But yeah, Back in Black, Give the Dog a Bone, Let Me Put My Love Into You, Have a Drink on Me, Shake a Leg. I like Shake a Leg a lot. It's a great album, simple. It's cover. And the last one was this Bon Scott, Highway to Hell. This is a great one. I mean, they're all great from this, like I said, from this point on. Walk All Over You, Touch Too Much, Crazy. If you want blood, you got it. And then the live, if you want blood, you got it. AC/DC's got tons of live DVDs and a lot of live bootlegs. I think they have some more official release live albums too of their later stuff, but more recent stuff, I guess. AC/DC Power is just my favorite one from them. Just the cover and everything. I mean, you just got 9 songs, and that's all you need. Hello, we're AC/DC. Here's 9 songs to kick your ass. See you later, we're AC/DC. I mean, Riff Raff. What's Next to the Moon? That's so good. Kicked in the Teeth. Oh, if they would have done What's Next to the Moon and Kicked in the Teeth, I probably would have stood up, ripped my chair off, and threw it across the football stadium. Because that's how much I love Power Rangers. Instead, I was just like, man, I don't think they're going to play those songs. Let There Be Rock, AC/DC. Of course, AC/DC. Duh. This whole video is about AC/DC. Let There Be Rock. This is a great one, too, and a great video shop at Angus. I mean, Angus looks like this still, just with a lot of white hair now. Hell of a guy, man. Playing that much for like 2 hours. And the only weird thing was in between songs, they had breaks. And Brian wasn't really saying anything, but all right, here we go. But the stage lights were off. There's this weird blue tint. And that's the only awkward thing about the show. It's like and there were some flubs. Angus flubbed, I think, 2 intros to songs, but really slight. You can hardly tell. Brian started to sing into the chorus a little earlier and got out, but that's what I love about it. Kids today want everything perfect. They're used to these pop people who aren't even freaking performing on stage anymore. They're just, and they don't care. They're just, I don't care. If you don't care, you don't want to pay to actually see someone actually perform besides shake around or something. I want to hear people sing a bum note or something. I want to hear the finger not go right place on guitar for 1 second. That means they're actually playing live and we're listening to live rock and roll. The greatest art form ever is rock and roll. I could go on forever. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Alternative cover. There we go. That's a cool one with the old tattoo on there. Bon Scott. He's one of the first people I ever saw he had tattoos. That's crazy. The cover we all know and love. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Right On. Squealer. Rocker. Problem Child. Come on. Come on, AC/DC. High Voltage. I love that cover, man. That's a cheesy one, huh? High Voltage. Oh yeah, one of the alternate covers I really want to get is the black and white Let There Be Rock of the fretboard. That would be really cool. acdc high voltage. This is what started me into the band. I saw this at a flea market as a young little kid and picked it up, brought it home, thought these letters were real, and just played it. And I was like, this is great. This is the music I want to like. Is this music? The imagery, just everything was just great. The alternate cover, I got this maybe 10 years ago, acdc high voltage, and the value on these just go psh, psh, psh. I think there's represses, but yeah, this is one of the OGs. Show Business, of course, is on this. Love Song, Little Lover, Stick Around, Soul Stripper, good stuff. High voltage with the dog peeing on the electricity thing there, the generator. And acdc TNT, I got this also about 8-9 years ago, and this is another one where the value just goes up, 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 up. acdc TNT, good stuff. The first official release from them. But yeah, there you go. So I hope you liked the review, hope you like looking at my acdc stuff, and thanks for watching.